Yo, we need to talk about Bleach Rebirth of Souls once again. So this game was supposed to be the Bleach game, the definitive Bleach game. We Bleach fans were supposed to be eating. Maybe not a 5-star meal gourmet, but maybe a 3-star, maybe 4. And for the most part, that's what we got. But a lot needs to be said about the state of the game when it came out, and what it is now after patch 1.4. So stick around as I explain Bleach Rebirth of Souls once again. The good.
I'm over here!
What is reason?
The bad.
How's your tag game? Well,
The ugly.
what the?
Subscribe. Let's talk about the combat. I think the combat system is amazing. Some have said that it's too slow, while others say that there needs to be more combo potential. My opinion is that it's really good and extremely fair. At the very least, when you're not getting comboed into oblivion. You have 9 stocks, a reverse bar, a Ryatsu bar, as well as a fighting spirit bar. The 9 stocks are called Kikon, while the bar below it is called Reishi. Your goal is to deplete the Reishi bar to red and execute a signature ultimate move to finally finish off your opponent, or simply deplete their Reishi for a stronger ultimate attack. The reverse bar is used for flash steps and sonidos, which can be used to increase damage and extend combos, as well as getting some sick ass dodges.
That won't work on me.
The reverse bar also uses 3 different types of reverses, one for neutral, one for attacking, and one to break out of combos. The Ryatsu bar is the bar used for special attacks, and the fighting bar increases during battle, which allow you to use your special transformations or effects. Every character has an unblockable grab, which can be teched out of, making for intense and very wild gameplay.
I told you the rules. So, are you ready? Strike back. You're not getting away.
I've been playing this game offline with friends and online with randoms and friends. The difference between online and off are extremely evident. There are some combos that don't even work offline and can only work online because of latency. This can lead to infinite combos which are not fun to play against at all, and overall can ruin the experience of the game. On the other hand, it can be really fun chaining attacks. Sparking Zero has a similar issue when it comes to timing for teleports. Overall, the online portion of the game needs some work, but at least to me, it doesn't seem all that deep. Patch 1.4 and 1.5 fixed a lot of the issues that we had online, and recently, the Twitter page of the game posted a survey. So now you can give feedback on the game and give them tips on how to improve the game. I cannot stress enough how important it is to give your opinion on the game and express what needs to happen to keep this game alive. My favorite thing about this game so far is that it's very beginner friendly. My wife, who doesn't really play video games all that much outside of Subnautica, is having a wild time with it and is even winning a lot of her matches. All in all, I don't have an issue with the gameplay. I think it's perfect. We may need more combo potential with some characters, both Shinsui, but that will probably come in due time as the game matures. Playing online is a lot of fun. I've been having a fantastic time beating as many people as I possibly can. I love the way they did health bars and ultimate techniques, having you choose to take all of their Reishi for a stronger ultimate attack, or go straight for the ultimate as soon as your opponent's health bar hits red. This is a godsend for time matches and free-to-play mode, which often end due to time. Time was also a big issue for me too, because 240 seconds was just not enough time. After patch 1.4, that is a thing of the past. We now have 300 seconds. The online portion is a solid 8 out of 10. Moving on to Rebirth of Souls' extremely long story mode. This game's story mode reminds me a lot of Dragon Ball Kakarot's with how long the story was. Unfortunately, Rebirth of Souls isn't nearly as polished. So the main reason I'm able to go back to Kakarot over and over and over again is because the cutscenes were amazing to look at. The most amazing visuals you will ever see in a video game. Yeah, Rebirth of Souls has none of that. Even when the game wants to look beautiful, it's fucking ugly. And you could tell there was barely any money put towards this. I recommended people to play Kakarot instead of watching the series for a better experience, but I can't say the same thing about Rebirth of Souls. And I actually would have preferred something more akin to Raging Blast 2 story mode than whatever this is. I'm not speaking on this any longer. Easily a 3 out of 10, and that might be being generous. Now, this game is missing a lot. A ridiculous, incredulous amount of things that we come to expect from an anime game such as this. Like, I don't know, how about a ranked mode? What about lobbies with spectators and rotations? Before patch 1.4, I couldn't even search for rooms without my game crashing, and free battle didn't even work. I had to look for groups to play against someone, and that's insane. I've never had to do that with any game, and that includes Jump Force. If you know, you know. This game needed way more time in the oven and possibly more cooks in the kitchen, because this was an absolute unpolished mess. Thankfully, God was listening to us when we asked for more updates and got the devs to deliver. Patch 1.4 and Patch 1.5 make the game so much better in terms of connectability, match reliability, which is basically my way of saying that matches don't crash anymore, and overall, very good improvements to not only the game, but the characters as well. For example, the giant Bankai is receiving a huge nerf. I'm not going to bother talking to you about the very light customization they gave us that only about 3 of you care about anyway, but I am going to talk about my frustration with this game, and really anime games in general, and really games in general coming out in such a bad state rather than being kept in the oven to bake just a bit more. Now, this game did receive a day 1 patch and 2 other patches, 1.4 and 1.5. I mentioned these earlier in the video about some of the things these patches fixed, and that's great, but why did we have to wait until after the game was out to get these fixes? Why didn't the devs test their game out more to see what was broken or unfinished? I'm tired of playing unfinished games. I'm sure we all remember Cyberpunk 2077 and the embarrassing state it showed up in. And when that game came out, I was just as hyped as everyone else, only to be completely let down by the game. Bleach may not be on that scale, but imagine that and then multiply my anguish by 10 and you'll get a semblance of the disappointment and frustration I have with Rebirth of Souls. Don't get it twisted, I love this game, and I'm having a lot of fun in this game. But that doesn't excuse the unfinished state we got it in. Come on, bro, no spectator mode? No way to add more than 1 person in the lobby? This is ridiculous. And by the way, these patches that I mentioned earlier hasn't fixed those yet. No rank mode that I've said for like the 3rd time, and I'll keep saying until we get it. Not enough online modes, which granted players may not care about anyway, but the online mode being in shambles is insane work. Don't even get me started on the PC version, because I'll be here all night. The point is, these companies need to be okay with letting down the fan base with delays. I would have rather the game come out in 2026 if it meant we got all the things that we were asking for, including characters, stability, more modes, and quality of life. The game isn't bad by any means, as I said before. The gameplay is definitely the greatest thing about this game, and it's extremely satisfying to fight and win. I just think we should have gotten more. So what's my overall thoughts, and most importantly, my overall score of the game? Despite my frustration with the game and my feelings about what we didn't get, I am grateful for what we did get. Despite not having a lot of quality of life, the game being released in an unfinished state, the jank and everything else you could say negative about this game, Rebirth of Souls is still a fantastic addition to the arena fighter genre, all due to how good the fighting system is. Rebirth of Souls changed the game, whether you want to believe it or not. This game introduced new ways of having fun with the arena fighting genre, and it did it in a very unique way. Gameplay is what makes the game, and this game has one of the best, if not the best, gameplay systems I've come across. Therefore, I have to score this game a nice, solid 7 out of 10. Sure, we are missing some characters. Sure, I'm upset that we didn't get a good story mode or more offline game modes. But again, gameplay is what makes the game. Now, with all that said, I still enjoy the game. Fighting people online is still fun. The gameplay is still fun. So if you're one of the ones enjoying it, don't let anything that I said in this video stop you from doing that. Hell, I'm the one making this video, and it's not going to stop me from playing. I'm just disappointed and honestly upset with the way this game had its start. With that being said, thank God, and thank you, the viewer, for watching the video. I'll see you on the next one.